Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author Matt Adams.
We are live from the 153rd Open at Royal Portrush in Portrush, Northern Ireland. This is golf's oldest major championship. It's actually the third time that it has been hosted here. The first was in 1951. It was won by Max Faulkner. In 2019, it came back after a long hiatus when Shane Lowry won the 148th Open. This is the PXG Custom Studios for the week, and to coin their phrase, "You've never played like this before," really fits where we are. Where we physically are is here inside of the media center. There's a shot of what I'm looking at right now. It always reminds me a little bit of like those shots of NASA where people are launching the rockets and all that. And you're looking up the leaderboards, which display when the players are going out today and what their respective scores are. Those graphics change from one to the other. You can see as the camera here is panning to the right, that's the main desk down there where you sign in, and the media interview room is behind that. So as the players come in after their rounds, they'll come in there and we'll have a chance to talk to them all about what's taking place. And I'm not sure how far back this cameraman, yeah, he didn't go back too far. What's up, folks? But as that camera continues to pan back to the left, that's where the cafe is and more services for people that are here. Because as you can tell, there's, I would guess, over 1,000 media members here. It could be significantly more than that, maybe as much as 2,000 would be my guess, inside of this very, very massive room. And they're here for a massive reason too, are they not? This Open and everything that it signifies and everything that it stands for. It's the world's major. It's the only one of the four major championships that's held outside of the United States. And this venue is so good and so special, and it's already creating news and drama, as you guys have seen. To that point, you will be hearing from the big names in today's show. And you guys already know when it's a week of a major championship, what we like to do is to give you guys a chance to get a glimpse of what the players were thinking as they came into this Open. What is their mindset? And I think it really is a cool, reflective thing to do when you look back on where they finish up on that leaderboard respectively. So very, very neat. As you can tell, the weather from last week when it was so warm and hot throughout Ireland, and the tour that I was on down through the Southwest and having fun doing all that and seeing friends and family, it has turned dramatically here in Northern Ireland, and the drama can be felt in every way, shape, and form. What about the drama this past weekend that took place? It was another weekend. It was another major championship. This time it was the Avion Championship, and what Grace Kim did was unbelievable. Here she is at the 15th. At this time, she was 3 shots behind, 10 under in the leaderboard, and she came in with a finishing stretch, hitting shots like that. She would make birdie there at 15. Here she is at 16, just so in control of her golf swing. She would make another birdie there. She would par the 17th, and at 18th, after a great drive, this is her approach into the par 5. And this one is, again, stuff that just becomes that of legend. Perfectly plays it into the backstop. It rolls back down the hill, and she would tap in for eagle from there. That got her into the playoff. This was after her drive at 18. The playoff started at the par 5 18. She hits it to the right. She would end up having to take a penalty drop from there. So as you're going to see, it wasn't a very good angle, it wasn't very good conditions, and she did something else that's long going to be remembered in the memory of those who love major championships. She chips it in. So even after the penalty, she still ends up making a birdie. Gino Thitikul also made a birdie on that hole. Here's the second time they're playing 18 in the playoff. This time she nailed it just like she did in regulation. Not so much using the slope behind the green, but setting up a 20-foot eagle putt that would secure her victory and her first major championship. Congratulations to Grace Kim. What a way to finish. Her last 6 holes to win a major. Birdie, birdie, par. Then at the par 5 18, she goes eagle, birdie, eagle. 7 under then in her last 6 holes. Absolutely classic, and something, as I mentioned, that will forevermore be remembered as a performance of a major champion. So when she had a chance to speak to the media, they asked her to talk about the struggles, the doubts, that which she had to overcome to achieve what she achieved, what it was like to make that final putt. But she starts with this. Take us through the emotions of that first playoff hole.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was pretty bummed to find out that my ball was in the middle of the water, but again, it's not quite finished until the very end, and yeah, I wasn't worried. Dropped the ball and it kind of ended up in a pretty decent lie, and I just wanted to make sure I got it there, so yeah, just happened to have chipped it in. I don't know if I can do it again, but that was great. But yeah, all 3 times I played that 18th hole today, I hit the same club, which was a 4 hybrid, so that'll be staying in the bag. I thought about it before I actually made the putt. Probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. Got me more nervous, and yeah, I remember Ayaka putting in a similar line, but yeah, I think I've had a lot of double breakers this week, and that was one of them for sure, and yeah, just looked straight at the hole. That's what my caddy told me to do, and I did it. Yeah, it was, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know how I'm in here already since then. Yeah, it just kind of all happened very quickly, but I'm glad that I'm sitting here for sure. It's a huge achievement for me. I've had a lot of doubts early this year. I was kind of losing motivation. I kind of had to get some hard conversations done with the team, and yeah, kind of had to wake up a little bit. So to be sitting here next to this trophy is definitely surreal. Yeah, I obviously caught a bit of a cold early this week as well, so I was kind of knowing that I wasn't 100%. But again, even if I'm 80%, I'll give my 100% of that 80. So yeah, and there was no stopping me this week. Definitely struggled, I think, after my win in Hawaii. You know, I won very early, and that was a great result, and I was very grateful for that. But I feel like I haven't quite crossed the line of kind of getting it done. I've been in contention a few times now, and just being able to get it done wasn't quite there. And I think I've come to learn that it's not quite my game. Technically, it's more on course, just the skills that I have to learn through experience being on the tour week in, week out. And obviously now it's a huge topic with the mental aspect of the game. So much doubt has gone in through my mind, and it kind of snowballed very quickly, and I guess it was a bit of a burnout at the start of this year. But yeah, just overcoming that wouldn't have been possible without my team. So I know a lot of the girls know that the importance of having a good team around you, and yeah, it's definitely crucial to have the people to back you, and even in times where you don't believe in yourself, to have those people know that you are capable and they're here for that ride. So I'm very grateful for them, and yeah, I honestly wouldn't have done it without them.
When you visualize in the past winning a major, did it look like this?
No. I mean, I think I won a lot more events in my mind than I have in real life, but I think you need that visualization and that imagery in your mind to be able to back yourself and yeah, get this far. So yeah, this is right here.
Gino Thitikul also, I think, distinguished herself so much. She's already a great champion, and the way that she always conducts herself, but played so well right down the stretch. She was asked afterwards how she would reflect on the week that was.
I think I'm so proud of myself on, battling out there today. I know it's gonna be a tough day, it's gonna be a long day, but I just want to say I'm so proud of myself and what I did out there. I have no idea. I just told myself either what's happened, just talking with myself that I still got your back for sure. So we still have each other. no matter what happened in each step of my career. Overall, like so proud of I can do it, I can overcome it, and then hopefully a lot better chance in the future.
All right, so I think her future looks pretty bright. There's little doubt about that. So, too, that of Chris Gotterup at winning again on the PGA Tour. Because remember, the Scottish Open is a co-sanctioned event between the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. And it's always looked upon, I think it's natural, right, the week before the Open that you're looking at what players are in form, etc. Well, Chris Gotterup was able to close the deal. Let's hear from him after he addressed the media immediately following his championship just down the road.
I feel great. Not much else to say other than that. I mean, proud of how me and Brady hung in there today. It wasn't going to be an easy task, and we were ready for it. So it's just really fulfilling day. Yeah, that was a big one. I mean, I've talked all week in my interviews after the round over here when 16 is my whole, like, I've parted Friday, Saturday, and I felt like that was going to be the difference today. And Brady said, he's like, all right, let's make this one. This is it right here. And when I made it, it felt like it was my tournament to lose at that point. Yeah, I mean, no cushion is cushiony enough unless it's 5-6 shots, but two's better than one. So, I mean, I knew I needed to hit the green on 17 and make a par. I mean, that was going to be a really hard birdie for anyone to make a birdie on that hole. And then 18, I stepped up there and hit one right down the middle, and the job was almost complete by that point. By the time we were at 14, 15, I was like, I really have nothing to lose at this point. I am in a good spot. I'm playing well. Like, let's step on the gas here. So to do that, and yeah, Brady's been really helpful for me over the last couple of months. So I'm happy for him. And yeah, I mean, I talked all day, mentally about just one shot at a time, and really just trying to stay in the moment, and I felt like I did a great job of that today. It definitely hasn't sunk in yet in that department, but I'm sure when I come back next year and even next week, it'll sink in a little bit more. But it's amazing. I'm so happy to be a winner here, and obviously involved with now DP World Tour a little bit more maybe, and I've kind of talked jokingly this year that I would like to kind of play a couple more DP events, so maybe I've earned myself a couple spots in some other ones. So we'll see what happens, and I'm really excited though. I mean, I know I'm playing well. I will have zero expectations going into next week. I'm excited to play an Open. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm really just my priority is getting myself rested-ish and get up there, and then other than that, I mean, just kind of get settled in. Obviously, it's going to take a couple of days to kind of get back to earth a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to go play in the Open.
Excellent job. Congratulations to him. And it is upon us, the 153rd Open at Royal Portrush. 7,381 yards to a par 71. The third Open Championship held here. To play your very, very best, log on to newtongolfco.com. They make the motion shafts, and it is an elongated bend profile, so it allows you to actually feel load at the top of your swing, so you can use that kinetic energy and just slam it into the back of the golf ball. And while it is being wildly successful by the best of the best, including long drive champions and dozens of players, for example, on the PGA Tour champions and more, these are made for players of all ability levels. Play your best golf at Newton Golf. Back with more from the Open after this.
Head down, water down the left, bunker down the right, take the club straight back.
Wandering minds. When golfers lose their focus, they're totally... But Bridgestone can help. Introducing Mindset. The ball scientifically designed to keep you focused. First, identify your target. Next, visualize your shot path.
And then focus on the green dot and smooth one.
Play the Tour B and E12 with Mindset technology.
You see what happens when we work together? Stuff like that.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
Golfers today are a different breed.
Who? Me? We see the game in a different way.
We all have our own styles.
We swing our own swing. But we have one thing in common.
We are all about the details.
Introducing the Revel line of grips from Superstroke. With 3 distinct offerings to choose from, the Revel is in the details.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Middle market businesses are facing unprecedented shifts, which demand tailored solutions and decisive action. RSM stands as the unwavering leader of the middle market, empowering you to take charge of change and conquer this era of transformation. RSM. Experience the power of being understood.
As we welcome you back to the 153rd Open from Royal Portrush, and there you can see a golf course that is beautiful. It is majestic. It is definitely championship caliber, and it will be the stage upon which the drama will play out this week at this Open. It's incredibly stunning to be on this property. We're broadcasting, as you know, from the media center. And when you look across this links golf course, as any links golf course, and imagine that this was one time the bridge between the land and the sea, that this was covered by the ocean. So it's dozens at least thick feet of sand underneath this turf. And it gets shaped by nature itself into these beautiful and majestic settings. Raymond Burns is here with me, dear friend of mine. I have the pleasure of working with him every year at the Open, and have been this whole week for the World Feed on the radio side, which I believe in North America can be heard on Sirius XM. Ramey, you grew up nearby. This golf course has always been a beacon. It hosted the Open back in 1951. Max Faulkner won that one, of course, in 2019. Shane won it here. How much of it, I know with Royal County Down, theoretically down the street, it's not as close as people think, but Royal County Down the street, to have 2 courses of this caliber in Northern Ireland, how distinctive was that to you as a developing golfer?
I mean, when I started getting decent at golf, when I was 10, 11 years old, I used to play golf in Royal County Down every Monday with Michael Bannon, Rory's coach, Ernie Jones. Was the pro there, David Carson, and my grandfather used to take me to Royal County Down. This Monet of links like this is just a phenomenal golf course, Royal County Down. And then I got a little bit older, and at 12 years old, I came down to Royal Portrush to play in the Irish Close Championship, which was closed for amateur golfers from the island of Ireland. And I arrived down here. I remember the day my dad took me down in the little old, 1982 Ford, a little sort of Cortina car, and I arrived 12 years old, hardly a pair of pants to put on me, hardly a pair of golf shoes, had to go find a few golf balls even to try and play in the tournament, could barely afford golf tees at that. And then I see on the drive in, as you can imagine, you're coming from Belfast, you go through Ballymoney, and you're coming down into Royal Portrush, and you just see one of the most beautiful, it's a silencer. It just silences for the beauty that you see. You see a golf course. you see swirling hills, valleys, you see the sea, you see the beach, you see the sand, you see the town, you see the, hopefully, blue sky. Hopefully, doesn't really matter, because Royal Portrush, you get blue sky one day, you get grey sky, you get black sky, you get any type of sky. But the colour of the golf course, that's what people don't realise. The colours, the different colours of green and purple and the heather colours and the mounds and the sand. It's just something that you have to come and see. It's a special place to have Royal County Down, then have Royal Portrush. And this golf course has evolved so much over the last, like since the Open, even the Seniors Open was here for many years ago. The holes have been changed, they've recrafted the golf course, all sorts of different things. But this is a stadium links golf course. This is a golf course like no other. You know, there's golf courses in the world that are, you know, rolling fairways and different, but this has got 18 very distinctive, very different golf holes. And that's why, even if you have a bad game here, you enjoy walking around, taking photographs. It doesn't matter about the score. You just want to feel the silence, feel the noise, different noises in the different holes. It's just something you have to come and see.
Amazing. So in your experience, when you were playing for what was then called the European Tour, it's now of course called the DP World Tour, to have this kind of a setting, in the way you described it so aptly, even back from 12 years old, this kind of setting, this kind of the classroom upon which to hone your game, how much was this a stepping, not necessarily just this golf course, but golf throughout the island, as you put it, of Ireland and Northern Ireland, where you're from? How much was that a building block for you to be able to go on to become the player that you were?
Well, I think that this is one golf course that when you have 14 clubs in your bag, and you have to use every golf club around here. You have to be able to shot shape. You have to be able to fade the golf ball, draw the golf ball, hit it low, hit it high. The wind alone, the temperature changes, uphill, downhill slopes. Every type of golf shot, it hones your craft. It's a golf course that you need to know every type of golf shot that you can possibly practice. And I see Rory out there this morning hitting golf balls from different places. You need 1,000 fields, hundreds of thousands of fields, and eventually hundreds of thousands of fields just goes through your veins, and that's how you become the golfer you are. Then you go around the world playing other types of golf courses, other types of places. But this is a type of golf course. 1888 it was founded, many years ago, and this is the type of golf course that started the game, the evolvement of the evolution of equipment that we use today. You know, sand wedges, lob wedges, putters off the green, the different shot, the different selection. The hardest thing for me on a links course is deciding which shot to hit, because I have so many shots. I've low, I've high, I've medium, I've uphill, I've downhill. I can flip it, I can spin it, I can do. That's the hardest thing. And the guys don't play that type of golf every week, and that's why the likes of Shane goes and practices these courses for 2 weeks. Last week, the Scottish Open. It's great to have a week before a links course hones in on the players. The wind, the temperature changes, but it's the craft of using that iron. Iron play is a huge thing in shot selection, playing with the wind, into the wind, holding the ball, drawing the ball, fading the ball, left or right, hit it out into the wind, let the wind take it. Never fight the wind. Christy O'Connor Sr. always told me, make the wind your friend, Matt. You have to make the wind your friend.
Classic. You alluded to some of the changes at Royal Portrush. Some of those changes have been relatively recent. There was a 2015 renovation done here. There's been more that's been done over 23 and 24. What do you make of these changes in terms of opportunities therein, or making golf course more difficult? Where would you place it in that scale?
Well, originally, for the members of Royal Portrush Golf Club, they had to vote against losing 17 and 18. Two, in my opinion, two of the greatest golf holes in golf. One of them was a road hole. But you know the way things go over time, even from a danger perspective on 18, the balls get over the road, cars coming down, more cars on the road, etc. But that decision was voted for by Royal Portrush Golf Club, and Martin, I just think in a second, Ebert decided on number 7 and 8. They built two masterpieces every week, every month, every year, especially 5 years since we've had the last Open here. That changes the way that those two holes, the par 5 up the hill, massive bunker to the right hand side of the fairway. Like every time, Matt, I play this hole, I played a pro-am here last October, I hit it into. It was like going into a building site. I just couldn't get out. I nearly needed a crane to get myself out. I hit like 3 shots out, but it didn't bother me a shot. I missed a putt for 80. But on the right-hand side, you had to hit up the left. You meander up the fairways. The right-hand side, the seas on the right. And the tee box has been actually moved back for even further this year compared to the 148th Open. So it's a super par 5. You get your drive away. You can certainly get home in 2, but a lot of difficulty. And then, of course, the 8th hole. It's one of the best holes on the golf course. Par 4, right to left, bunkering on the right-hand side, bunkering on the left-hand side. And the green is in a beautiful little swale. You've got to really hit this in the middle of the green. If you hit it too far left, you're going down that slope. You're going to have an awful golf shot to hit up. But 2 magnificent golf holes. They changed it, obviously, they had to change them from a perspective of logistics for the host and Open Championship. They needed to have people to be able to walk in safely into the golf course. They needed to put some mounding and some tunneling from 7, 9, 8 onto the golf course to get more crowd, make it safety for the punters coming into the golf course. So amazing job of the R&A, amazing job for Royal Portrush Golf Club, and I personally think that it's made the golf course much, much tougher and much stronger.
And what of the finish then would you make?
The finish, well, I mean, you go to Calamity, you need the par 3. I've seen Rory hit a 2-iron, nailed a 2-iron just the front left. If you hit it on the right-hand side, it's like, if you see your ball get in there, it's like throwing a ball off a building in New York City. It's so deep down the right-hand side. Like, it would take you 20 minutes nearly to get down to get your golf ball, and maybe 30 minutes to get back up to the green. Like, it's a blind shot. 17 Purgatory, a very easy looking hole, but by God, come Sunday, that's going to decide this Open Championship. The Sunday of the Open is going to be decided between 7 and 18. 18, dog leg out to the left or right. You've got the grandstands, the left, out of bounds, the left-hand side. The right-hand side, you've got Bondi as high as waist high. It's horrendous on the right-hand side. And the shot into the green is probably one of the longest holes in Open Championship. You know, you take St Andrews or take Royal Birkdale or it's quite a long golf. Like, it could be 3-iron, 3-iron. It could be 3-iron, 5-iron. You take your driver in, you've got the bunker in, the rough on the right, rough on the left. So it's a challenging golf hole, but amazing golf course. It's a fair golf course. Lots of links we play, you know, they're not as fair. I think this is a really, really fair golf course and will reward smart and patience. You need to have a lot of patience to play golf on this type of golf course.
And that is why leaderboards at Royal Portrush are always compelling during the Open, because of the way this golf course comes together and provides those opportunities that Ramey was just so eloquently and beautifully describing. Those opportunities, of course, come with challenges as well if one is perhaps a bit too bold or fails to execute the shot that is called for. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, no problem.
Thank you. Really do appreciate it. All right, more of the Fairways Live Show continues on this day as we say, check out Ben Hogan Golf. BenHoganGolf.com is where you can see their full line of all of the beautiful Ben Hogan equipment available to you, including their newest irons, which are absolutely gorgeous. I know all of you would love to have Ben Hogan equipment in your golf bag, and you take great pride to slip a set of clubs in there that has the iconic signature Ben Hogan etched right in the metal. They are your tour truck. Your relationship with them is one-on-one. BenHoganGolf.com for more and more from Royal Portrush after this.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
Golf season is back, baby. Play the best rounds of your life with PXG.
I feel like dancing. I feel like dancing.
Visit pxg.com to see what we can do for your game.
I'm feeling groovy, so groovy.
PXG, you've never played like this before.
Golfers today are a different breed.
Who? Me? We see the game in a different way.
We all have our own styles.
We swing our own swing. But we have one thing in common.
We are all about the details.
Introducing the Revel line of grips from Superstroke. With 3 distinct offerings to choose from, the Revel is in the details.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Hey, I'm golf broadcaster Matt Adams. You know, Hub's Peanuts has been cooking up the top 1% of peanuts for over 70 years. And these aren't your average nut. These are super extra large Virginia peanuts cooked in the USA. Family-owned Hub's Peanuts have more protein than any other nuts. So whether it's a boost on the course or a special gift, the variety of flavors guarantees Hub's Peanuts is just what you need. Family-owned, nutritious, delicious, and sustainable. Hub's Peanuts, it's just right. HubsPeanuts.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
As we welcome you back to Royal Portrush, site of the 153rd Open. It is just so spectacular. I can tell you that that video is not live that you're looking at right now. We had a mix of weather. It's been interesting, Dom, because, you know, I've been over here for a while. I was down in the southwest in Lahinch and in Ballybunion, and the temperature, daytime temperatures was in the 80s, and it was brilliant sunshine. The beaches were absolutely packed. We came up here Sunday to Portrush. Again, it was still warm. It was still in the 80s, and the beaches were absolutely packed again. It was unbelievable. Oh, this was actually video that I shot from the beach in Lahinch, and everyone always gets like shocked because the water is cold over there, you know, by comparison to much of the United States. But everybody was in. I was in when everyone else was in there too. So it was. I'll say it was very refreshing, and rightfully so. This is construction that's being done at Lahinch. That was a new putting green you got a glimpse of. That's the new clubhouse on the left. The construction on the main clubhouse is mighty because next year they're hosting the Walker Cup. And we got a chance to play. That's my son CJ that's all the way on the left of that photo. This was the farmer's son who was in the middle. We called him Brendan O'Doherty, and that was the night after where we went to the 19th pub that, Dom, you've been to. That was the new green that you saw. This is the side of that clubhouse. It's much, much bigger than what it was. And again, kind of a glimpse of the construction that's underway. But what I really try to do here, this is the first tee, so you can see how it kind of it's wrapped around by these buildings. I went to the artist rendering, and this is what they said it's going to look like when it's completely finished. That's, of course, the front of the building. That's the same perspective I was shooting from. This would be the new lobby area. I mean, it feels like a high-end, like 5-star hotel. That's upstairs. That's the grill room, Dom, where you sat and ate and had a beer. Anyway, this is the new clubhouse. This is what I was promising that I would show you more of. And it's really cool. It's huge. It's gorgeous. This is all Lahinch, folks. And the apparel's always been good, honestly. It's just they have room for a lot more of it. And I thought that was a really cool shirt sweater combination with the purple, and this gives you one of those glimpses as you almost, I wanted you to feel like you were walking around the golf shop with me so that you could see everything that was on offer. Check this one out. Look at that white like vest. The blue one's right next to it. This is ladies apparel here. And then the camera kind of pans off to the right, and you can see, expanded choice of hats and ball markers, and then it pans up to the left, and you can see the flags, because everybody wants to leave with a pin flag or what have you. This is the brand new putting green. It opened the day that I was there putting on it. There was a ton of people on it. I just happened to have gotten there at a time when it was kind of quiet in between. And this was the village of Lahinch. So it was really cool, and it was really fun. And as I mentioned to you, it was so warm that Lahinch is always the really cool mix between being golf town, obviously, and being a beach town, because it's the surfing capital of Europe. And the beach side, I would dare say, took over the golf side over the week that was, because it was just so cool to see all those people there having fun. And of course the golf was great too. So we had the best of both worlds, there's no doubt about that. And we had it up here as well. But that leads me to what's going on today. The cold weather came in this morning. The winds came in. I don't know whether you can hear them buffering the media center on my microphone here, right on cue. So it's pretty mighty out there right now. The golf course is soft. Rory McIlroy was out there practicing earlier today, and that was his assessment, that the golf course has gotten softer than in what it had been. This is you're going to see Rory right here. This is from today. Earlier today, he went out about 7:40 in the morning. He did get a lot of sleep last night. He got to his where he's staying at about 1:30 in the morning, and he was out here playing at just after 7, as you heard. So with warm-up and all the rest, it was a short night for him. Maybe went back and took a nap later on in the day. But pretty cool to get a chance to see Rory. So, Dom, did you get a chance to pull up the official weather forecast so we can take a look at what to expect over the coming days?
Yeah, I do have the official weather forecast. Obviously, coming in from the R&A and the Open Championship there, you see the forecast sort of today and tomorrow. You can see there's lots of wind, like Matt just mentioned, tons of wind, and showers sort of on and off consistently all the time. For the championship proper, this is how how Irish is this, Matt? Ready for this? This is the official forecast. I'm going to read this. More changeable again from Thursday, with further showers or spells of rain likely, perhaps heavy at times, other times not. Although some fine and drier interludes are still expected, generally light to moderate to severe winds, southwest, southeast, but it could become variable at times. This is the official forecast. I mean, you might as well have like a sort of some person standing in front of a camera flipping coins with their hands. Rain, no rain. Wind, no wind. So, I mean, temperatures slightly above average. What does that mean? So I don't know. Yeah. So here's your official forecast. I don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Might rain, it might not. Might be cold, it might not.
Yeah, I like how the forecast was basically, pretty much whatever can happen is likely to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be very, very severe. Yeah.
Spells of rain likely, maybe heavy, although fine and drier interludes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to rain, maybe heavy, maybe not at all, maybe no rain. Might not be any rain.
Well, I mean, you got to give him credit for one thing. You can't be wrong if you throw everything at everybody. Let's take a look at some of, why not, Dom, unless you want to go down the road with telling me about maybe a question of the day, but I would love to know where the odds are at right now and what the bookies around the world are thinking.
We do have some odds. These are the current odds. Now, these will shape-shift as the week unfolds here, obviously. But what you're looking at right there on your screen, which I'll read to you, is the top 7 favorites, if you will, right now at the Open. Scottie Scheffler is your favorite currently, going off at 5-1. Rory at 7-1, coming off a runner-up finish at the Scottish Open. Obviously, right here at home at Portrush, he's played the course God knows how many times. How many times, by the way, do you think he's played this golf course? What do you think the number is?
I think the number's up there, but I will tell you this, because this is something a lot of people don't know or don't talk about. At 16 years old, Rory shot the course record here at 61. So everyone always talks about what he did in the first hole or in the first round the last time the Open was here, forgetting that he can play very, very well in this course, even if he was overcome by circumstance last time. That's one of the reasons that I'm high on his chances this time. So 5-1
So
for
he's
Scotty.
7-1 there.
70.
So there you see John Rahm at 12-1.
His
Bryson's
team
at 18-1,
won
Matt.
for Live this past weekend.
Yes, Legion 13 did win. Taylor Gooch also collecting another individual victory. DeChambeau 18-1. Xander Schauffele, Tommy Fleetwood, and Shane Lowry are all 20-1. Not pictured here. Some random notables. I'm just going to throw some names at you. Ludwig Oberg is 25-1 right now. Colin Morikawa is going off at 30-1. Victor Hovland is going off at 30-1. Terrell Hatton is 30-1 right now. Bob McIntyre 35-1. Matt Fitzpatrick 35-1. So outside of Scotty and Rory, it's pretty wide open right now. Now these odds will change as the week rolls on, and we will update you as that happens and as those changes take place. But all that being said, what you're looking at there with those odds is very much related to my question of the day, which is quite simply, who will win the Open Championship this year? Is it Rory? Is it Scotty? Is it Bryson? Or is it the field? Those are the options I'm giving everybody.
Okay. What's before we forget about it, because I'm going to take a break here and we'll come back and we'll do a couple more things. So I want to go over the press conference schedule, and et cetera. Dom, what is Sepp Straka? What are his odds currently?
Sepp Straka's odds are 50-1 currently.
Yeah. I liked the guys that you had at 30-1. I liked 35-1. I like Sepp at 50-1. That is all pretty good. Because I've already picked Rory as, for me, to win this week, I guess I would already be in the category of taking one of those four versus the field. But we'll touch base on where the voting is on that from all of you right after this when we come back with more from the Fairways of Life show. We're live from the Media Center here at the 153rd Open at Royal Portrush.
I got ball
Clear,
fit
3
in
minutes.
2000 and went on a little run.
How insane is that weather forecast?
Then Bridgestone fit me again.
I can't believe they
And I
published
went
that.
on another one.
That's insane. The weather forecast. It's absurd.
I just got fit again.
It's absurd.
for the new
I think that's
GPX.
what it says. I'm
The
reading
ball
what it
fittings
says.
are helping me. Will it help
Wind
you?
variable. Temperature variable. It's going to rain. It might rain heavy. Might be dry. Whatever.
What does it take to be an original?
Cam knows something about that. So does Chi-Chi.
They don't know anything.
Charlie.
But it's funny, though,
and
until you've
you
been
get it.
there,
In
because I've been lucky enough to have
1955, we
been there
stepped
twice
onto the
now,
scene. Now a new
in
generation
separate
of pros
years,
are wearing the most
I
iconic
understand
styles
what
in the
that
game.
means.
The fit,
Until you've
the
been there, you
feel,
just don't
the
understand.
look. It's all
You
an
don't
expression
understand
of
until
you.
you're at La Hinch and you're on the third
Original
hole,
Penguin.
and it's
Here
sort of
for the good
spitting
times.
like mist and dust, and it's 52 and cloudy, and you're like,
Innovation
man,
has
it's going
been
to
at the
start
heart of
raining.
every
And then
super
3
stroke
holes
grip
later,
we've
it's
ever
74
created,
degrees.
cementing
You're
our
just like,
status
what the hell
as
is
the
going
number
on?
one putting grip
But it's
on
what it
tour.
is. That's what happens.
Now the best just got better.
Is that just a function of being
Introducing
sort of like
Super Stroke
an
Synergy,
island and being sort of right on
our
the
most
ocean? Is that
advanced
just
putting
why
grips
it
ever.
happens like that?
For unmatched confidence to quiet your hands and your mind. Find the perfect grip for your game at superstrokeusa.com.
Independent tester Golf Ball Addict tested 100 of the best golf balls available and ranked PXG's 2 tour balls at number 1 and number 2. Each scoring a 10 of 10 in performance, a 10 of 10 in durability, and a 10 of 10 in value. So what are you waiting for? Visit PXG.com or a PXG location near you to pick up your PXG Extreme Tour or Extreme Tour X golf balls for only $34.99 a dozen. PXG, you've never played like this before.
FlightScope Mevo Plus
This
is the
says your-
ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch
Yeah.
monitor and
Okay.
simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com.
When you choose Newton shafts, you're choosing more than a product. You're choosing innovation, pride, and excellence right here in America. We pay attention to the minutest of details, and you can feel that in the performance of our shafts.
Welcome back to the PXG Custom Studios. You have never played like this before, and certainly you haven't if you're here at Royal Portrush. If you've had the occasion to visit, maybe some of you watching us have come back here with me. We had the big group here a few weeks back. In fact, myself and Dom and Paul Eels, who's on his way in. I think he's arriving tomorrow. We had a chance to play this golf course just a few weeks ago, and it was incredible and beautiful. I actually think that it's hard for me to say this because I'm so emotionally tied to La Hinch, but I think that Royal Portrush is the best links course anywhere on the island. And I'm fully aware that there's people jumping out of the chair going, what are you talking about? You're placing it higher than Royal County Down, and I am. I think it's that good. Now, Royal County Down is absolutely brilliant. Don't get me wrong. It's splitting hairs. But what I like about this one is it's right out in front of you. You heard Ramey talking about it earlier in the show. It's a very, very fair golf course. It really is. It's absolutely incredible. All right, Dom, so I am curious how the voting is going so far to the question you asked for the question of the day.
Yes, I'll give you the voting. Hold on a second. I was just about to say something to Andrew, but I'll just talk to him about it on the air. We have updates to the odds, Andrew. They're already changing. The Scotty and Rory have gotten tighter here. Rory is now 6.5 to 1, and Scotty is 5.5 to 1. So the odds are getting closer between those two, which I think is interesting. Very interesting, in fact.
It is.
It's starting to feel strange to me because it's starting to feel like a two-horse race at all these big tournaments. It feels like the odds makers, everyone is just assuming it's going to be Scotty or Rory. But, Rory wins the Masters, Scotty wins the PGA. It just seems to be Rory or Scotty who's winning these tournaments, which is why my question of the day is as follows. Who will win the Open, Rory or Scotty? And then I put Bryson in there, who's been playing very well in the majors as of late. And then, or the field is the fourth option. Right now, only 4% are saying Scotty Scheffler, Matt. 4% are saying Bryson. 42% are saying the field. And 50% are saying Rory. I have to be honest, Matt. It feels like those people, that 50%, even though I haven't talked to those people, Matt, it feels very much like that's just coming from their heart. They're just like, I want Rory to win at Portrush. Not so much with their head. It feels very much like they're selecting with their heart. Am I wrong?
I think there is an element of that, but I think there are other signs that we can point to. Rory completed the Grand Slam. Rory's a different player now. Rory's talking about returning to the Mount, being motivated again, and what better place to do it than here. This is a different Rory McIlroy, I believe, that blew up in the first round back in 2019. He's more settled. He's obviously older. He's in his middle 30s now. I think that he has kind of separated himself from the media in many ways. That was a relationship, a bond that was broken, and Rory was very upset about it. He's still upset about it, and so I think there's a lot of reasons why this is a different Rory McIlroy, much more insular than he had been. So I think that's why I picked him. It's a safe bet. He was playing well. He played well this morning. We got a chance to watch him play a few holes. When he first started, there was really nobody around, and everybody was on the property, realized that it was Rory McIlroy out there practicing, and they chased him out there. He was on the course pretty much the same time as Shane Lowry was out in the golf course, our defending champion. So Yeah, I think the people are making a good choice
Can
as
I
of today.
share some stats?
Yeah.
I want to share some Rory stats from the Scottish Open, and I want you to tell me what the relevance might be for this week, considering Rory's traditional control over his driver and that use as a weapon. He was 5th. This is his performance at the Scottish overall, not a particular round. He was 5th in putting, 10th around the green, and 20th in his approach to green. Off the tee, Rory McIlroy I'm talking about. Off the tee, 52nd. He was losing strokes. He was literally losing strokes off the tee against the field last week at Scottish Open. But in all these other categories that I mentioned, which traditionally I don't think we would put Rory inside the top 10 in all these categories, he seemed to be on song. What does that mean? Does that mean anything heading into this week?
Yeah, a couple things. One, Rory hadn't been playing in a little while, so it was finding form again. And again, Rory was coming off that kind of melancholy stretch. That was the stretch where he got mad at the media. That was the stretch where he admitted that he was having trouble remotivating himself, et cetera, et cetera. We also heard from one of the people on his inner circle from this past weekend, one of my sources that said that he was hitting these kind of high spinny shots. He wasn't doing that today. So maybe Michael Bannon spoke to him, or they got to work together a little bit on it, but it wasn't happening in his practice round today. I think on the property here this week, and the way that he's focusing in and the way things are building up towards the start of this 153rd Open is different for Rory McIlroy than what we've seen over the last few weeks, even if we're talking about what we've seen over the last few days. Because having said what you just said, he still ended up getting very, very close to the top of the leaderboard. A shot, in fairness, to win it, although full credit to Chris Gotterup with what he was able to accomplish. So, yeah, I think it matters. I think I was assigned to Scotty at Royal Troon last year, and I just didn't think that Scotty ever got the measure of the greens. He had some really good putts, but he couldn't get them to drop. And I think those fescue greens and the slower speeds or whatever it is kind of got the better of him last year. And that has a tendency to, with Scotty anyways, that has a tendency to kind of rear its head. So we'll see what mindset Scotty's in here at the Open. It's part of what makes this event so unique is in my opinion, your ability to focus through, and that comical weather forecast is a good example of it. They don't know. I mean, that was a lot of fancy words of basically saying, we don't know what the hell it's going to do. And when you're out there as a player and you're trying to concentrate on hitting difficult shots to begin with, and then you add in variables like wind gusts of 30 plus miles an hour or more, or rain that's coming down sideways into your face, or whatever it is that you want to define it by, those conditions, those weather, the quirkiness of links golf all weighs into it. And I think it exposes players who aren't fully in control of their emotions and their focus in the given week. So, yeah, it is really interesting. Now, before we let you go, and
one more
and I will
comment,
tell you,
Matt, to your point about Scotty Scheffler. He was at the Scottish Open. He was on song with everything except the putting. 64th. He was losing a shot and a half around on the greens at the Scottish Open, Matt. Talking about Scotty Scheffler now.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
you mentioned it, and now I'm wondering if that's a concern bleeding into this week, whether it's speed or whatever. He just can't. It's not connecting up there for him for some reason. Is that a huge concern here?
No, it's not.
He was 14th off the tee. He was gaining almost 3 strokes off the tee. Rory was losing strokes. Scotty was gaining strokes. He was 8th approach. He was 16th around the green. He was Scotty Scheffler. But on the greens, it's a mess.
Yeah, there's two elements to this. Just so I define myself better. What I was talking about was the focus necessary to play through vastly changing variables. And yes, a lot of that is weather, but it also is turf conditions. There's a lot of things that can go into that. A lot of things that are going to try the players in terms of their primary focus, right? And we oftentimes hear that the players that seem to be able to handle conditions of links golf the best. Think about Shane Lowry last time he won on this golf course in 2019. There was kind of an effervescence about him. There was almost this glowing inner light of joy that he carried with him, and instead of club slamming, muttering, and rage. And these conditions can certainly bring about the latter. The difference with, and this is why I'm high on Colin Morikawa this week as well, and Scotty this week, is that when you have great ball strikers, for them to do well on links golf, and Colin Morikawa was a best winner of the Open in 21. When they putt average, they're at the top of the leaderboard or can win. So that brings in the likes of Adam Scott, who's hitting the ball extremely well. That's the reason why I like Tommy Fleetwood, who finished second here last time. So I still believe that the primary attribute to play well and to win, aside from what I was talking about with focus and this overall control of your psyche and your mentality and your emotions, but in terms of what you actually do with club in hand, my humble opinion is that I think it is look for the great ball strikers to be the ones that will be paramount in terms of who will be in contention as the week progresses. And one of those people that I mentioned are going to have a decent putting week. And if you have a decent putting week when you're striking the ball extremely well, then watch out. That's primary reason why the collective that I feel like Rory McIlroy is the player to beat this week, because I do feel like he's got the control over the emotional side of being here. He's not overwhelmed by the circumstance such as he was the first time. And when I say such as he was the first time, that was after Gordon Brand Jr. and Gordy, God rest his soul, that was after he spoke to Jerry, Rory's dad, and his dad kind of just conceded, yeah, this was a lot. This was just a lot with the Open coming back here for the first time since 1951, back in 2019. I think we're talking about a different Rory McIlroy now. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll get assigned to him this week. I'm hoping that Paul Eels and I have a chance to follow Rory at some point, maybe down the stretch again. But we'll see. As I mentioned to you, I know Eelsie's coming in, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get a chance to talk to him too and get his views. As you know, I love for you guys to get a chance to hear from a guy that played in 8 of these. I know. Is that unbelievable? So we'll be back with you again tomorrow. But before we go, I do want to give you information in terms of how, when, and where you can get the Open. Now, we don't have the graphics done yet. We will have them done for tomorrow. So just bear with me on this. Maybe I don't know, watch video of the course or something. But for those of you who are watching us in North America, the coverage of the Open starts Thursday at 1:30 a.m. on Peacock. And it's on Peacock from 1:30 a.m. until 4 a.m. Then 4 a.m. it's on USA Network. Friday, same schedule. Saturday, 5 a.m. on USA Network, 7 a.m. on NBC. Same schedule for both Saturday and on Sunday. And then the Open live streaming, and that's, again, for those of you in North America, it's a combination of Peacock, NBC Sports app. But you can also get it at the Open app, and the latter one, keep in mind for a second, because it plays into what I'm going to tell you about with the radio. So the streaming coverage starts at Thursday, Friday at 1:30 a.m., and then over the weekend it starts at 5 a.m. and 3 a.m. respectively over the 2 weekend days, and each day it's 4 different feeds. Now, as far as Open radio goes, I did get confirmation that the Open radio broadcast, which is the world radio feed that I've been a part of for a long time, that Open radio coverage will be kicking off from, depending upon the day and tournament proper, 1:30 and 2:30 a.m. But I did get confirmation that you can listen to it on Sirius XM in North America. Having said that, if you don't have Sirius XM, or if you're outside of North America, I bumped into a lot of people in this trip that consume the show that are outside of North America, which is really cool. You can hear that coverage, whether you're in North America or whether you're outside North America, on the Open app. So download the Open app, and you can take us with you wherever you go. Obviously, it's free, and you can hear that coverage no matter where you are. You also can hear the coverage by logging on to theopen.com. And just in both cases, choose the audio option, and you're going to hear the live radio coverage, which, as I mentioned, is beaming all over the world, and it's going to be very, very cool indeed and fun. I hope, no doubt, that will lie in store. Can't wait for all of it that is ahead. So thank you very much for joining us live here today from inside of the Media Center, and we'll have much more to share with you in the days ahead. Until then, be well. Goodbye for now.